I'm going to be doing a geography revision video on the deposition around a meander. We're going to start by asking, what actually is a meander? A meander is, in simple terms, is a bend in a river. So if you get a river and it bends, meander. I am at a meander in a river. This is the River Tees up at Darlington-ish area. And what I can say is it's not flowing very fast here. Down there, like a couple hundred meters down there, it was flowing severely fast, meaning I really couldn't show anything on a video. So I've decided to come here instead to show you what deposition and I'll talk a little bit about erosion as well, because it kind of links. Deposition mainly though. The deposition and erosion around a meander. What do I mean by deposition? When something is deposited, that is deposition. So if we look at, on the ground here, we've got sand. Sand, as much as it is natural, it's not just found here. Sand is from rocks and abrasion in the river, where rocks are smashed into each other until they're grinded down enough to form this sandy stuff that gets all over. But that's one bit of deposition. If I were to go down there and it wasn't as full as it is today, because we've had a lot of rain, there is a beach that kind of starts here and then goes out a little bit, like 10-ish meters. It goes out into the river. I would be able to show a lot of deposition there because there's rocks and obviously all the sand. That really shows deposition, but because it's so full today, we can't see that. So, deposition on a meander is basically the inside getting all the rocks and the sand, whereas the outside is getting eroded. How can we tell that I'm on the inside, not the outside? The main thing is the inside has got a slip-off slope, so a little slope that'll slowly go into the river. This is just a nice little visual of what a slip-off slope is. I might have angled the camera so it looks a bit straight, but it does go from like a kind of, goes from this like, there's the river, it just kind of gradually makes its way up. And just gradually makes its way up. So if I was to pour some water here, it would just slowly trickle down to the river there. And that's pretty much it for a slip-off slope. Whereas the outside over there has got a cliff, like a cliff sort of edge. So it's just going, and it just drops off into the river. Kind of just drops off, which is on that side. Cliff side of the river, of the meander on the river, it's just literally a cliff edge. It's nothing really special. I hate to break it. It's not very much special. It's literally just a cliff onto the river. Can't see it fully because there's trees and that, but it is just a higher bit of land over there. It's just dropped off into the river. How do we know that is erosion? We can tell because on the outside of a meander, the water's flowing faster, which means that the hydraulic action is hitting that side of the river more and breaking all that material down on the riverbank on that side. And because it's happening faster, it's not giving it enough time to kind of level itself like this is, kind of like a gradual level. It's just happening that fast. It just undercuts it and then it falls off into the river, giving that cliff. Why does it deposit on the inside rather than the outside? It's to do with the velocity of the river and how how fast it is travelling. Obviously on the outside it's travelling fast, which is obviously undercutting, making that river fall inwards. But nothing gets deposited there because it's going so fast. Nothing can just stay there. It all moves. So on the inside of the river, where the water's flowing slower, what we can see is that the speed of the river, and the river can't move the big objects like boulders and just big rocks. It can't move that. So it just kind of just leaves it behind. Hence all this sand. That's all the rocks that have been abrasion and all that. It's just been left because the speed of the river can't take it along. So there we go. Deposition of Meander. All done.